Welcome into episode 90 of the Cheesehead and the Bear podcast. You have Cheesehead number one, Connor Kelly.
Cheesehead number 2, Mason Berg signing in.
Got the bear, Brennan Oates.
And 2 special guests today. More Bears fans, unfortunately. We're outnumbered on this one. We got 3-2 Bears to Packers. But introduce yourselves, gentlemen. Talk about your podcast. Welcome on.
Thank you for having us. My name is Ficky, and I am half of the Bears Film Room podcast. I'll pass it to Dave.
Yep, my name is Dave. Cover the Bears for sportsmarker.com. And then, of course, we have our podcast, Bears Film Room, that we love to do. So I'm excited. I know it's been a long time coming. So, again, thank you guys for having us.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
We get to talk some Bears football. Let's
Mhm.
go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Obviously, us 3 living in Wisconsin, we'll shout out Bears Film Room. Not sure how many of our listeners are going to be, jumping over because, we're all in Wisconsin. But
If they ever want to hate watch, you know what I mean? They can do
There
that.
we go.
They're good at that. They are good at that.
Good at that down here.
Packers
Yeah,
fans
so
love
feel
the
free.
talk. I love that. Love it. Let's just do a little rundown of the show. So if you guys are listening, you can kind of jump to a certain spot if you want to hear something specific. But we're going to start with our sports starters, actually Bears starters, because we've got
Thank you.
Bears special episode today. I'll give you that credit. And then we're just going to be doing game recap. Obviously, going to be talking some players, giving our opinions on which player we'd rather have position wise, whether or not they're going to make a move at the deadline for a player. The record for the remainder of the season now that they've lost a game and they're at that 4-2, 4-3 spot where this is big for them. Are they going to turn the corner or just kind of sink like last year? We're going to give their next game preview and then kind of just give some awards on the players' MVP, maybe most surprising, biggest disappointment, all that good stuff here. So let's get into our Bears starters. I can't believe I'm doing this, but we've got all Bears sports starters, and we're going
Heck
to
yeah,
start.
dude. This is awesome.
All the time.
This is great for Brennan right now. God, this is like an all-time high he's going to have today.
Let's go.
Let's start it off with the defensive back, Kyler Gordon. He is on injured reserve. I don't know when that happened, if that was last week. Again, Packers fan here, so I didn't really get to watch too much of it besides red zone highlights. But Brennan, Kyler Gordon, obviously, I know who he is. He's a fantastic player for you guys. Is it a big loss for you right now with the secondary being banged up? How are you feeling about Kyler Gordon going down?
100% an enormous loss. You kind of saw it in the game against the Ravens. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, yeah, that's just one of the other cornerbacks going down, rocking the Jalen Johnson shirt today. So hopefully Pookie Bear can come back soon. But, yeah, he Spider-Man's out for 4 weeks. We just got him back, which sucks that he's hurt again. But yeah, Kyler Gordon, you will be missed, and hopefully we make a move, maybe a free agent or something for a cornerback here soon.
Yeah,
Figure
Fig, you want
Dave,
to
go
go
ahead.
next?
Yeah, look, Brendan said it perfectly. We just got him back, and he was ripped away. It was almost like getting teased for, like, Christmas, right? You saw the gift, and you're like, oh, my God. And then it's like, yeah, bitch, you're not getting that. So, yeah, it was definitely not a great – and that's, that's kind of been our injury bug for most of the season. That happened to T.J. Edwards. It's happened to some people that have come back, and then they've got injured again. So I don't know if that's something with the medical team putting them out too early. But definitely we've been bit with the injury bug on that backside. And like you said, Mason, our secondary is – we put out like scrubs last week. So losing him maybe wouldn't be as a big a deal if you didn't already lose Jalen Johnson for majority of the season, right? And now Tyreek Stevenson was out as well. So yeah, they're kind of adding up at this moment. So I'd say it's a big loss.
Yeah, there's not much more to add to it. I think you guys both covered it, Fick and Brennan. All I really have to say is it just sucks. He's such a good player, both in the run game. Of course, you see him in his blitz packages that Dennis Allen got to use for one game. I think the thing that hurts the most is that he got injured not during a game, but during the week, during practice. So, and it was a groin injury. So those are it's just really bad luck. As far as the defense, they're not really staying healthy, and thankfully the offense is, and we'll see if they can kind of get it together. But as far as Kyler Gordon, I think, Vic, you also mentioned the fact that if it was just Kyler, we can handle that. But the fact is, it's like number 4 of our top corners, actually 5 if you count Terrell Smith, who's we lost during the preseason. So
That sucked.
Kyler's awesome, and we paid him, and it just stinks he can't be on the field. So.
Yeah, that's rough. Your guys' injury bug on the defense is absolutely terrible. you have high hopes for the season. You come into it, your team's solid, and then just one after another, they are just going down like flies, and that it sucks to see. I want to be competitive in this division, especially. So, having all those guys out is tough.
Question for
Yeah,
you two
hope is-
boys. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the hope is though that when we have to play you guys in the back half, or like when our schedule gets a little bit harder, Jalen Johnson does have a chance to return. Tyree Stevenson will be hopefully healed up by then. Kyler Gordon will be off of IR. So I'm hoping this is a softer portion of our schedule. If you're going to have the part where your half of your defense is decimated, it's kind of a perfect time. I know that's weird to say perfect, but you're hoping then when you get to the back half that those guys are back and you're kind of playing, with momentum and a lot more confidence on that side.
For sure.
Oh, we're gonna get cooked, Fick. If you're talking about the Packers, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. If we roll
I know
out
we'll
this
get to that maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
man. I don't care
I'm
what
not
we
looking
do.
forward to next week. I'll tell you what. But I just had a question for Ficky and Dave, really quick, because you brought up Kyler got paid. Do you think Brisker gets paid in the offseason now that he is finally playing semi-healthy, knock on wood, but Kyler is always injured as well and he got his money. Brisker is the same thing for me. I was just wondering what you thought about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Brisker is he's a great talent. If he plays all 17 games, they're going to extend him. It may not be big time resetting the market, but I would say similar because I think Kyler, when he was signed, was he made the highest paid nickel?
Yes.
For slot nickel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's not going to be the highest paid safety, but he's going to be in the top 10. He's just so talented, and if he can play a full 17, him and his age are going to have a lot of leverage there, especially if he continues the way that he's playing now. I think he has more pressures than Dio and Montez Sweat, and he's played. Obviously, he's not an edge rusher, but he's just such an impactful player. So I would pay him, especially if he can. You want to keep those type of players. So,
100%.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. We always have an ongoing joke, or at least I do, that he needs to bubble wrap his head. So as long as he can keep his head on his
I
shoulders.
brought it up multiple times. Yes.
Yeah.
How he's not wearing that bubble helmet is
The
unbelievable.
Guardian cap, exactly.
Yeah, he needs the Guardian cap. He needs it. Maybe 2 of them.
Double layered.
4 concussions in 3 years. So layer it up at this point. I don't care.
Crazy.
You know what? I think it'd benefit him too because he likes to throw his body around. So I'm like, you're just
That's what I'm saying,
giving him
dude.
more
It's crazy.
protection, so. But yeah, I think his play, especially early on right now, especially when we saw Kyler come back, we saw even his play elevate, even though it was for one game. Those two were a menace all game. Kyler and Jaquan was all over the field, so I think so.
Even Wright was playing better.
Exactly. Yeah. If you see Kyler and Brisker at the line of scrimmage, you don't know who they're sending. The problem is if you see Brisker there, you kind of it just limits or it kind of dilutes his type of surprise factor. And the fact that's what I loved last week when you saw, or not last week, the 2 weeks before when Kyler and them were both paired. There's multiple times where they were both lined up really, really close, either on the edge or right over the center. And it's a lot to deal with if for your offensive line, of course, your quarterback. So to lose that, it stinks. Hopefully it's a short IR stint, though. We'll see.
Just out of nowhere. It just doesn't make sense. Something in practice, man. I don't know what he does.
Brian,
it's never in games, ever. It's so annoying.
They just go game speed, man. Got to respect it, I guess. I don't know.
Not even padded in practice, which is crazy. But these soft tissue, I feel like soft tissue injuries are the worst.
It's happening to a lot of players too. So it's a common thing. This hamstring has just been everywhere in every league too, not just NFL, but between baseball and football too. It's the freaking hamstrings.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, moving on, talking about another guy on IR, and hopefully it's a short stint, but offensive tackle Braxton Jones is on the IR as well. We'll start with Dave for that one. Again, I'm not the biggest Bears guy. I know some of the linemen. I do not know Braxton Jones, so I really
don't know Braxton Jones, Mason.
Dude,
not
it's probably your
best
best
lineman. You don't know our all-pro left tackle.
Honestly, Mason, you're not missing much on this one.
All right,
he's a good depth piece. That's what I think when we touched on it, Fick, during our pod a couple weeks ago. I like Braxton Jones because of the depth, and you never know when a lineman goes out, and so. I would love to have him just healthy and being able to be relied upon if called up. But for me, it doesn't change too much. You get more Ozzie Trapillo possibly, kind of a swing tackle already. So yeah, I'll keep that one short and sweet.
Yeah, man lost his starting job. So, I mean, look, you're going to need depth, like Dave said, but it's not like we're losing someone like Kyler Gordon who's getting a bigger market share of your snap percentage.
Right.
I really thought he was going to be one of the trade candidates for a possible like defensive player. I thought he was going to be the guy that gets moved. To see him go on IR, that kind of sucked a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Fun fact is me and Dave always talk about this. Like, oh, let's trade for offensive linemen. You know, in like the past 20 years, there's only been like 6 offensive linemen traded
During the season or just in general?
during the season
Yeah.
because if you look around the league, it's hard to find good offensive linemen. And even mid-tier offensive linemen, they're like, well, we need you for the depth. So
Yeah.
I think in the past 20 years, there's only been one center ever traded in season.
Interesting.
So
kinda
I don't
crazy,
even
actually.
think Braxton Jones is going to get traded. Or he could, right?
Well,
but the
with
data
the
says that
IR,
like,
I
it
mean,
can happen.
I would,
Yeah,
if
probably
he
not.
was not on IR, I think there's a really high possibility just because of the injuries that have racked up to the secondary. To pair him, maybe get a corner vet or something like that. I think it was a high possibility. But now, I think November 4th is the trade deadline. We'll see. I doubt. Obviously, you can't trade him on IR, so no one's going to do that.
Well,
I
November
thought
4th, that's
Texans
like
were going to
one
be
more week.
calling. I'm not going to lie. I just thought they were going to be one of the teams calling for him, but obviously not anymore.
Well, they definitely need the help.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
interesting because
that's
I'm like,
rough.
you have your offensive line sucks, but you trade away Larry Tunzel. So how does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
I
it make
still
sense.
don't understand.
We're still
I
it
just
talking
never
don't
made sense to
understand.
me. I was
Nope.
like, your O line sucks, but let's get rid of
Yeah.
your best O lineman. So
NFL trades,
Yeah.
man. They make so much sense.
yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Want to pay him or extend him? I don't know what it was, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it was payment. His contract's coming up. I'm pretty sure.
makes sense. Cheap, 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 cheap. Still on the topic of negatives here. Unfortunately, we'll turn it around. Hopefully,
Getting close. Getting close.
Bears fandom, we're used to this. Go ahead.
Exactly. I was just about to say Bears fans are probably used to talking negatively, but Brennan, Shamar Turner is out for the season. Just another guy here that we're talking about with an injury. Let's start with you, Shamar Turner. How are you feeling about this injury?
Yeah, just building this sports starters. I just remember every time I put in an injury, I think of Alex being like, "Why are we talking about injuries only on these sports starters? I don't know what else to put in it. It's just what's going on." Shout out Alex though. But yeah, that really sucks because that then now means that we're probably gonna have to see Ford. I can't remember what his first name is. The guy that basically almost paralyzed Noah Sewell, I guess. That guy sucks. I don't like watching him play at defensive tackle at all. But yeah, Shamar Turner was a second round pick. Was finally getting some playing time and then gets hurt. I swear he ran off the field. Maybe that wasn't him, but in the last game when he got hurt. But yeah, that's really tough for the defensive line. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great because we already have a lot of defensive line injuries. Grady Jarrett just came back. Obviously, we have one of the worst defensive line groups in the NFL. So, just having bodies is important, and we obviously don't have that. And then also from a vanity kind of perception standpoint with Ryan Poles in this draft class, like it doesn't look great because now you have Ozzie Trapilla, who we thought was going to start, hasn't started. Shamar Turner's out for the season. Luther Burden just got concussed. Really was coming into his own, but hadn't done much. Colson Loveland hasn't really lived up to the hype. Again, rookies, I'm giving them time. You don't ever just say, these guys are going to suck. But with, if the Bears start stacking more losses, Ryan Poles, the idea of him and how well he did this year might start to get the C high, even though he got a 5-year extension. I'm not saying this year, but just kind of the overall viewpoint of Ryan Poles will start to look a little murky.
Yeah, shout out that Panthers trade. Let's just
That's saved him for sure.
One trade.
Yeah.
I guess I never realized how
I-
many injuries you have.
Okay.
Like I knew you had a lot of injuries, but like really talking about it's like, Jesus Christ, do you guys have anybody like actually healthy
Dude, the
on your
injury
team right now?
report
It
is on
sounds like no.
Wikipedia. It's disgusting.
The defensive line or the defense, I should say, is decimated. Outside maybe a couple. That's one other thing is like kind of like as far as like positives go, there's still a lot of playmakers there. Like you got Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Grady Jarrett. You mentioned there's still a lot of guys, but I just wish we could have seen this unit like fully healthy. And real quick to touch on Shamar Turner, I think the biggest thing that I'm disappointed is it really just sets back his development. I mean, ACL is real tough anyway, but it's a rookie year. Those snaps that he would have gotten, the experience. I'll be honest, it's going to be like when he comes back, it's going to be like he's a rookie in my opinion. So that really stinks as far as just his development being kind of delayed significantly due to that injury. So, but he was able to walk off, which that's why I was so shocked it was ACL. I was like, damn.
That might be a good
Kind
sign.
of jogged
though,
off
that
a little
not,
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a good sign though that it's not like a grade 4 ACL, and he didn't tear other parts of the knee, so maybe it's the recovery may not be as long as something else.
I saw Jordy
hard to-
Nelson walk off a torn ACL, and he was out for a while, so you don't know.
It's true.
Kind of hard to compare because it's two different positions, but that injury is reminding me of kind of like the J.J. McCarthy injury where he goes down last year and he's out for like the whole season, and he comes back in his first game he's playing the Bears, but he didn't look great besides one quarter. But it's one of those things of he didn't get the snaps in his rookie year, so now he's going back in his second season pretty much as a rookie, not having the experience and knowing what to expect. So that's a huge blow.
Oh, for sure. Snap counts matter for sure.
Yeah.
Good question.
And speaking of a second-year player coming back, Austin Booker. I mean, we're talking about the defensive line kind of being out, but Austin Booker is back, second-year guy from Kansas, so he does have that experience from last year. Does he make an impact at all, Dave?
Myles Garrett of the preseason, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
He is back.
All right.
Dude is a beast. I think he's gonna bring some juice to the defensive line. I hope they don't like baby him in and like say, hey, Dio makes more money than you. You're gonna be behind him until you prove it. Blah blah blah. Baloney. I really hope they bring him in there because he is just he's like the Tasmanian devil out there, dude. He just does not stop. I've talked to you guys about the preseason game against the Dolphins. Dude literally took over the game. I understand it's preseason, but he looks really good. So I'm really excited for him to finally get back and play this weekend.
Yeah, Dave and I have actually talked about Booker a lot because last preseason, dog went crazy, right? He has the frame, 6'5", fast as hell. You're like, okay, this is the real deal. And it looked like that in preseason. Regular season, first game, he looked good, and then you never saw anything of Austin Booker again. Then we get to this preseason, dog goes crazy again, and then he gets injured. So now it's kind of like, is this going to be a repeat? Because we knew it was going to be a development type of person. That's why he went in the 4th round, or the 5th round, actually. But it's like, what Austin Booker are we going to get? Is it still a year from development, or is he actually developed a little bit more of a pass rush to actually get up the quarterback? So I'm actually not sure. His ceiling is super high, to be honest, just from his frame alone and his athleticism. But we've seen that his floor can be really, really low. So I don't know, question mark for me. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, just a wild card. Simple as that. I think when it comes to Booker, you talked about all the great stuff, but when it comes to like the level of competition, he does dominate like preseason. It's like a guy that goes into the rec league that's played like D2, D3, D1 basketball, and just it's very easy. The game comes easy to him. It's a lot different when you go against regular season talent, and the competition is just so much higher than even at preseason, and so we are yet to see him really do anything significant against high level competition. So he's a wild card for me. Like, obviously, it would be so awesome for him to kind of have a breakout season when he comes back, because the Bears have been decimated with injuries. That's how we started this podcast. So for him to be a wild card and be able to produce at a high level and have that Max Crosby type energy, but also have the talent and be able to beat those guys on the other side. Those, obviously they get paid too to protect the quarterback. So for me, I just got to see it. But man, he is a huge wild card. But I have, as I've gotten older, I'm a little bit more pessimistic. So I'm going to be, we'll see. Expectations are kind of low.
That'd be sweet. That'd be awesome.
He's got the
I'll take the discount version too.
Yeah, for sure. He's got the size, and like if you watch him play, he gives
the motor too.
Max. Yeah, the Max Crosby vibes. But again, that's more like his pure athleticism. We need to see his actual.
But also, Max Crosby has his first step is just he's just so athletic, and Booker is athletic, but there's like another tier, and I don't know if he has that yet, or if he can ever get to that. Because sometimes Crosby
Crosby still gives me nightmares, dude, from that game.
Sure. Crosby, he has the ability where it's like the offensive lineman can do everything right, but he's just so much faster. It's like teleporting. And so Booker, I don't see that quite in his game. So it's more of the motor where it's like relentless, where he's going to get stopped, blocked, or doubled, like not doubled, but he's just going to be able to hopefully get to the quarterback if the quarterback does not get the ball out quickly. So we'll see. Wild card for sure.
Biggest wild card, to be honest.
It's exciting. It's exciting having a wild card. Also a little terrifying too, especially when
Basically, like
talking
it's like
injuries.
our Lucas Van Ness
Yeah,
guys.
it's a
So
great
you guys can
comparison.
understand
That is a great comparison.
who we're talking about. It's like
Yep.
our Hercules kind of coming back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I mean, and as Packers fans, Connor, I think you can attest to it. I mean, he came out of nowhere to start the season. He was phenomenal.
I thought we were going to see a huge step from the first couple games, and then it kind of has fallen off again. But
Yep.
we've seen that he can do it, which is good.
And, and that's the thing. We don't need him to be that guy because we're actually
Exactly.
pretty healthy. So thank you, thank you. It's
Okay.
lovely.
Knock on that wood, Jesus,
Sure.
holy.
Oh yeah, shit, my fault. God damn it.
no, you said it. You said it. Sorry, man.
Ah, damn it, I did jinx it. All right, we'll move on. We'll start to maybe talk about some positives here. We're gonna start with the cheeseheads here because we can talk about the game and we can talk about the recap and we'll give our kind of outside opinion before you guys start shitting on them because there's probably not too many positives that you guys are focused on. So I'll start with a positive for me. Even though he only carried the ball 11 times for 45 yards again, I mean Swift was fine. He's been looking really well for you guys. And in that game, you got to throw the ball. I mean, you're down, so Caleb had to be throwing the ball. So again, I think Swift looked good. And then another positive takeaway for me, Olamide,
Zacchaeus.
No, Alameda.
Alameda, there we go.
I
Alameda.
just love him.
Zacchaeus. One of the
Just
hardest names.
call him Zacchaeus, dude.
Zacchaeus, I just want
Or
to say,
OZ, whatever.
want to say, I mean, he's been around the league and on the Falcons. I kind of liked him. Love him on the Bears. I think he's such a good fit. He's just kind of that safety net for Caleb. I mean, 7 receptions, only 33 yards, but 7 receptions. He's a great target to have. So I think that's just a good safety blanket for Caleb.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is like the one Bears game where I actually wasn't too tuned in because I was coming back from hunting this weekend, so I wasn't really around. But one of the key points that has been the whole season, Roma Dunze is taking one of the biggest leaps. He reminds me of JSN from last year, going from year one to the second year. Huge jump and a lot of connection between the chemistry between Caleb and Rome this year has been outstanding, which is something super good for the Bears. It's great to look forward to knowing that both of these guys have a long future ahead. And DeAndre Swift looking great. Shout out my fantasy team. Really appreciate that because I needed that. But DeAndre Swift, we know, is one of those guys who he's always been a good talent. He was pretty solid on the Lions, but we saw what we can do with a good offensive line on the Eagles when he absolutely blew up. Now that the Bears actually have a solid offensive line, we've seen that kind of jumper consistency from Swift, even though the Bears haven't really been known for that good run game. So that's also a big yes for the Bears as well is DeAndre Swift. But like I said, I unfortunately missed a lot of this past game, to be honest.
Probably good for your mental health. So maybe you'd have been happy
Well,
about
he
it.
probably
yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, never mind.
Hey, I picked the
loving it.
Bears to win. I was
Yeah.
gonna let them have this one.
Yeah,
That's
well, you guys were very happy and optimistic. Let's, as the Bear fan that actually
Let's get
watched the
real.
game, let's bring it down. What'd you guys think about that no call on DeAndre Hopkins? I want to get your guys' opinion on that immediately.
I think it
Go
was
ahead,
fair.
You thought
I
it was
was kidding.
No, I know that's
No,
not what he
just-
thought.
sorry, that's sarcasm. No, I mean,
Yeah, I know it was.
the Bears, there's like some stats where they have like the penalties called against them are almost, I think they're over double their opponents, and their yards like 500 plus penalty yards to their opponents like 200 something. That is just the thing is, when it comes to that call, to miss it when the ref was right there, one, but after that call was missed, they did not miss anything when it came to the Bears. As far as lining off sides, they got like eagle eyes, right? Like to get 3 penalties following that missed call, it sucks. Now, it's hard for me to be like upset because we just played so poorly, and I don't, like, of course, we needed that. Like, we need everything we can get as far as like getting some calls to go our way. But for me, I was just so disappointed in how the entire offense played that I wasn't as irate as I typically am. I know a lot of Bears fans are, and it was a bad call. Like, you missed OPI and hands to the face. So it was brutal. I would have loved to see what Caleb could have done because that would have been a stop on 3rd down. And who knows if he goes down there and ties it or Actually, I think Ben Johnson probably would have went for 2.
That would have been nuts.
Try to end it just because I think they're on the road there. So.
Yeah, I mean, Dave kind of nailed it on the point with, I think the stat was the Bears have the second most penalties and penalty yards. And then all of their opponents, when they played the Bears, that's been their second lowest penalties of the season. Wow. So basically, right, I'm sure you guys play fantasy. It's like where you play against people and they end up going off. Like, you always get their best, right? That's how the Bears season has been so far. Not only are we shooting ourselves in the foot, but teams are coming in there, right? Whether, it's rigged or not, they are just disciplined as hell. The best game they've ever played from a penalty standpoint.
I don't think it's discipline, Fick. I think it's the refs are just like.
No.
I don't think it's like rigged, but I just don't understand quite how it can be that lopsided.
Yeah, it's interesting where the data is completely you're hoping there's a lot of season left, but you're hoping that maybe that will start to normalize with the games coming up. But in the short 7-game sample set, it's kind of hard to look at that and be like, interesting, we're getting the most penalties and everyone's not. So,
two things on that.
Oh, go ahead, Brennan.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
No, I really didn't have much.
I was just gonna say, I have a lot, like we've said multiple times, a lot of Packer fans here. A lot of my friends text me during that play, and I responded with like, "What'd you think about the no call?" I said, "Well, Roger really needs the Ravens in the playoffs, so that is why that didn't get called." And another thing I was just gonna ask with that play, and we can move on after that, is, do you think if it was like even Stevenson, do you think not because it was not like a known cornerback, do you think it was kind of, if it was a more pristine cornerback, do you think he gets that call or no? Not like nothing at all with that.
No, I think it's the opposite because it's Hopkins. I mean, that's a future Hall of Famer.
Sure.
So unless you're gonna be better than him, like if you're gonna pick someone who's gonna get the call, it's probably gonna be the 12-year veteran, right?
Well, 100%. I will say this: I like where you're going, Brendan, because right after you see Nashawn Wright go to the ref, because the ref's right there and he's like making the face mask essentially. If Jalen Johnson's doing that, they're calling it. Like,
that's what
100%.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Now Tyreek Stevenson, I don't know. He's very vocal too. Stevenson's so vocal, and he's played at a high level last few weeks prior to his injury. But I think Stevenson is so vocal, he either would have got flagged.
He would have got
for
a penalty
for a penalty because he would have been so irate, or they would have been like, or they would have gave it to him. So with Stevenson, it's a wild card there. But with Jalen Johnson being an All-Pro type player, absolutely. And
dude,
shout out to
arm
Hopkins.
sleeves would have went up in the air, dude. They would have been easier to see.
Yeah, but also who knows? I mean, Jalen. I know Hopkins great. It wasn't the best route in my opinion. Jalen and Tyreek are playing. Well, Jalen plays at a high level, and then Tyreek's been playing it very similar to Jalen Johnson, believe it or not. So who knows? That ball could have been deflected. And
it's not even a game if we have our secondary, to be honest. To be real, it's not a game if Jalen Johnson's playing, Tyreek Stevens playing, Tyler Gordon.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think we would have been able to shut him out. But also, they didn't have Lamar, so it's kind of hard
That's
to
what
be
I was gonna go
we
with
don't
that.
have our corners.
Yeah,
well, they didn't have their
It
two-time
felt
MVP.
like they had Lamar, dude.
Yeah, it sure did.
Of course, they bring everybody back from injury, and they bring in a 10 times better backup that actually plays like
Can we not
Lamar,
get Cooper Rush? That's what I was saying.
I know, right?
I was so close to playing Cooper Rush.
The only points that I really had for this game, I had 3. It was the refs. I feel like we've been talking about it. I don't have to talk about it much. They've been hoeing us the last few weeks. That's all I'm going to say. No cornerbacks. I got blinded by the 4-game win streak. We had no cornerback.
I'm just kidding.
Well, that too. He didn't play the greatest. And then the main thing that you guys talked about, like on your recap, Rome Odunze, dude, drops every contested ball that is thrown his way. I don't understand why. Like, he can make really good catches when he's wide open, maybe a guy like in the vicinity, but if it's literally like anything contested, I don't know if I've ever seen him catch a contested ball once.
Yeah. Last year he did a better job of it, and that's what he was known for in college. So I think there's just a little bit of the drops this year, right? And a lot of his drops.
He had some drops last year.
He had some, but it wasn't like, I think it was probably around the norm. It wasn't anything crazy. Yeah. I will say though, he had a couple better contested catches this game. Like there was a major 3rd down. Caleb rolls to the right and kind of zips it across his body, and Rome gets tackled right when he catches it. And he's had some games where he's dropped ones like that. I think his biggest drops though have actually been when Caleb rolls to the right and
Oh my
throws just
God,
a
dude.
heater, and it's always accurate. On the run, Caleb
It's
is
just
crazy.
coming in 100 miles per hour.
100 miles an hour. He does do like that slide thing. I'm not saying it's not an easy catch. You need to make it, right? You got two things can be true, but he's had a lot of drops, and not just him, but a lot of wide receivers on that. And I think it's because Caleb is like really throwing it super hard, but he has to in those situations. You don't have much room left. You got to get the ball from point A to point B quickly, and so therefore they're just having a little bit tougher time bringing those in.
It's always funny looking at the comments when you guys like kind of post those clips. It's DJ Moore would have caught that, and I'm like, well, I mean,
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I was actually so that's what DJ does best is he makes some incredible. I mean, DJ does not drop much. He makes very a lot of tough catches. Yeah, that one was an insane play. Really great throw by Caleb. He extended the play as well there. But I would say with Rome, yeah, it is concerning. He's a wide receiver one. Like he has that talent. The problem is if he's not going to make those type of catches, he's going to be a very low end type, wide receiver one. But for me, he just has so much talent where you expect those to be cleaned up. And Fick, you touched on it in college that he had, I think, the number one contested catch rate
He did
in all of college. So something's off. But even that one that he threw to the sideline, it wasn't contested. It was a difficult catch, and you just expect this guy to be able to make those. And Caleb he delivers some really, really good, as far as accuracy that on the run, sometimes it's where he throws his best ball. So Rome, the problem with Rome is his catches or his drops come at the most inopportune times. That's the problem I have with it. Like that one he dropped on the third. I know the Packers fans here are probably like, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but it was a big play like in that game where they did, instead of settling for three, or they settled for three when they could have got a touchdown there. So, and the momentum, it just shifts when you don't get 7. And we saw that a lot during the first game or during last week against the Ravens where their red zone issues were so prevalent. But yeah, the thing with him is his timing of the drops are just so bad. And that's why we're so pissed off, I feel like, when we see him.
Also, Dave, we haven't talked about this, but I was just thinking about while you're talking. Most of his drops have been like scramble, Caleb running. If you talk about like in rhythm throws, like in the pocket, Rome doesn't normally drop those. All of them have been like, if you think about that big one last week, which everyone was worried about, where it's like the come back to the ball, you know what I mean? Caleb buys time, gets around the pocket, and he's kind of looking, and then Rome, he throws it as Rome's coming back and it gets knocked out. He's had a bunch of them like that where it's kind of Caleb moving around. And I think that might be a little bit of like a connection issue of just kind of understanding your quarterback and knowing exactly where you need to be. Because when you talk about just legit, 3-step drop back, deliver, right? 5-step deliver, those ones he catches like every time. You normally don't see Rome like run a simple route, Caleb throws it and he just drops it. Like some wide receivers, that will happen. That doesn't happen with Rome. It's more of like the impromptu stuff. So I'm hoping that's more of like a mental thing and not, a major issue. And also, since it wasn't an issue as much last year and it wasn't an issue in college, I'm hoping this can get resolved. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I like what you said about, Rome and, his mistakes or his drops are always at like a game-changing time. Because like I said, Rome's taking a huge leap from last year into this year and, kind of proving himself as that wide receiver one. But right now it kind of feels like he's holding himself back from being like a good wide receiver one to a great wide receiver one. Because those are the plays where, when Caleb's got to rely on somebody and, it's third down, it's like, well, I got to make a play here. I'm going to go to the guy I trust the most. I'm going to Rome. You got to feel like, you can throw this to him and he's going to come down with it, maybe 80% of the time, 90% of the time. He's got to make the plays. And that's a really big thing with, these receivers. And like the difference between them is just, can you make the play in the clutch? And as of right now, big step already from last year, but can he be more clutch in those situations?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where we thrive. That's where the Packers thrive too. Is those scramble plays with Jordan. He's just heaving it up, and Romeo goes up and catches one. Tucker Kraft gets room and catches a ball and takes it another 20 yards.
I like
You
Tucker
need those
Kraft.
plays to keep the
Tucker
drive
Kraft is
moving.
dog.
Kraft is insane.
Y'all
But
need
you
to
need
trade
those
him.
plays.
His yards after catch, like if you look at where he's at versus all the other tight ends, it's like Kraft
Not
and
even
a major
close.
drop, and then it's everybody else. It's like he gets the
Not
ball and he just
close.
fucking goes off.
You got to
It's
really scroll
awesome.
for Colson Loveland. You know,
Yeah, or
Right.
or
Fucking-
Komet,
yeah.
or Komet.
finger
Or
hurts.
Komet, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
We
But
do like
that's
them.
the thing,
They've been
man.
fantastic in the block game. But yeah, from a
Yeah.
wide receiver weapon,
Mhm.
you guys got something with Tucker Craft.
I'll
got
tell you what, I
weapons,
was
too.
not expecting the jump from him either. I was expecting a good amount of usage, but I thought we were going to kind of
Must be
mix
nice.
in Musgrave a little bit too. But nah, this guy decided. He said, "I'm here," and he's proven it, which is great.
Love that.
All right,
Love that.
enough Packer
Ridiculous.
talk. This is a Bears podcast. All right.
No, but
Dave,
I
I
want-
think you got to get going,
Sprinkle a
right,
little
Dave?
in there.
Yeah, I do
All right.
got to get out of here. I appreciate you boys. I'll have to come on where I have the full episode, but I do want to say that I
Absolutely.
do, as far as like the Packers go, you guys are really, really good. Also, Jordan Love's like the only Packers quarterback that I actually like. He's actually a
Okay.
genuinely cool dude. So I want to give you guys
He
some
doesn't
kudos
rob
on
the
him.
poor, so
he is a good
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
player.
that's true. Yeah, I just think he's an awesome player, and you guys are really, really good. It pisses me off you have Micah Parsons. So I guess that's all I'll say about the
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers.
We're
But
just
I
driving.
appreciate you guys
It's how
having
it
me
is.
on.
Save it for next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Ficky, don't embarrass us, all right?
the team
Dave, I
does
really
let enough
appreciate you,
on
man.
themselves.
We got to do it soon. I appreciate it, man.
No,
Absolutely.
absolutely, guys. We'll come on maybe at towards the end of the year where like the Bears Packers play. That'll be a lot of fun 'cause I
Absolutely.
think those are in December. But y'all let me know. I'll make it work. So thank you again.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
peace out,
See
Dave.
you, See you boys.
Well, now that
All right.
he's gone,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
we got two Bears and two Packers here, and we
Oh,
can
it's
kind
even
of
now. It's
All right.
even, huh?
All right, Vicky, let's do it, baby.
Let's
we
do it. Hey,
can
look, I'm
we
ready.
can kind of both talk about our teams here because we're both kind of in a similar situation when it comes to our kickers. We're dealing with Haversick, who just kicked our franchise record 61-yarder, but then McManus is healthy now, and he just shorts a 57-yarder. Where you guys are kind of dealing with that same issue between Cairo Santos, who can't make a 50-yarder to save his life, but extra points are money, money, money. And you got Jake Modi, a guy who probably could kick, 58, 60-yarders, but the
60s.
accuracy is just not there. So we'll start with Connor, and then we'll kind of move into the Bears. We'll just get the Packers shit out of the way very quickly. But Connor, just very quickly answer it. McManus or Haversick, and why?
I mean, I feel like you got to go Haversick just because of the fact of the game-changing kick he had when he made that 61-yarder, proving that he can handle those big situations. He can make the extra points. Every kicker in the NFL should be able to. But to have a guy that you can rely on for those really important kicks, the deep ones, the ones where you need to get some momentum rolling, that's what you need. And, I feel bad for McManus because he was so good for us last year, especially. A lot of game-winning field goals he had. But unfortunately, in the NFL, a kicker is one of those positions where if you're in a slump, you lose your job, and that's just what it is. You need to be able to make your field goals. You got to come up for the team, and right now he's not doing it. So I'm going Haversick.
I agree too, because in this league, kickers are more important than they ever have been. With the 60-yarders almost being like not a given right now, but we're trying to make a 55-yarder the new 65 or new 45. I'm sorry. So I mean, I agree. I want the leg, even if the accuracy is not there. Just the fact that we have the ability to say, hey, we can throw a guy out who could possibly kick this 60-yarder over McManus, who the leg, the age, it's not there. So curious to see what Ficky you're thinking with your situation. Are you taking the accuracy or the
Oh,
potential
man,
distance with Moody?
Yeah, it's tough. So Dave. I wish Dave was on this because Dave is like off of Cairo. He's like, get Cairo off my team, and he's kind of been like that, him and Jack, for a little bit now. But I'm more in the middle because this is what you're getting with Cairo Santos, one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL, Bears history as well. Like,
Yep.
dude from 55 and under, you're not breaking a sweat. He's making it. He did miss a 58-yarder, but he's made a 58-yarder this year, I think, or at least above 55 twice. The problem with the 58-yarder, though, this game was, as J.J. Watt called it, a hurricane kick or whatever they call it, where basically you don't have a timeout. You rush the team out.
16 seconds left.
Yeah. So you run the team out there and you kick it right away. The problem with that is not getting set and getting the ball. The problem is when you do that, you have to use the ball that's in the game. So you don't get the kicker ball, right? Which they obviously get ready. And a lot of the ball, why kicking has improved, not only is just the kickers have gotten better, but the NFL's allowed them to warm up their balls. So pause there, but get the balls ready so that they can kick a 60-yarder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And so
fielding over here.
And so that wasn't there. So you're using just the quarterback ball, which obviously has a little different of a feel. Now, would Moody probably make that? He'd probably get it there. But the problem is he going to make it? Moody on the Bears, though, been 8 for 9, hit some pretty crazy kicks. He's looked great now. But I'm a data guy, and I look at what the data tells me. The man's on a hot streak right now, right, for 9 kicks. But if you were to look at the past 2 years, Jake Moody was under the NFL average when it came to his accuracy. Cairo Santos has never been anywhere close to the NFL average because he's super accurate. Does that mean you'll miss out on some 55-yard or 60-yard kicks? Absolutely, right? But does that mean you're going to miss a PAT that will fuck you over, or you're going to miss an easy chip shot? No. So I think it normalizes in that way. It just feels more impactful when they miss the long ones, because typically you're taking those long ones because of desperation. So end of half, end of game, right? Where you know you need something, and so therefore it feels like it's ripped away from you because you're so desperate for it, compared to like a 30-yarder or a 40-yarder. Those are easy chip shots. Everyone's fine about that. So I am the boat of Cairo, with the caveat of that doesn't mean you can bring Moody in or someone else in the offseason and see, is there better options out there? But mid-season, I'm like, let's stick with your guy. He's also your captain. I think that kind of says something. You got to roll with him, in my opinion.
Actual question here, because I've never looked this up. Can you play 2 kickers in a game?
Well, it's just taking up a roster spot.
Yeah, they would never do it. Yeah, they would never do it because take up a spot.
That's totally fair. I was gonna say, dude, like those 40-yarders, you get Santos in, but it's 4th and 13, and you got a 61-yarder. Moody, get out there. We don't want to punt. Just let him
it's
sling
actually
one.
Funny because I was thinking of that. I'm like, why not roll with 2 of them? But they would never give up a roster spot, even though I think some, like, unless it's in the trenches, some of the extra roster spots, I'm like, you could probably give up your safety number 4. You know what I mean? Like,
we can't do that.
Yeah.
You're right. We can't.
In your situation, you can't afford anything else.
Okay. Teams that aren't decimated
Sure.
would
Yes.
probably be like, yeah, we could probably risk that, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I'm trying to be more active on Twitter this upcoming season, but make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. But as soon as Cairo missed that field goal, warming up the balls, I don't really care about that. When he missed it, I went to it and immediately, I think I said it to you guys as well, I said, cut Santos. It's kind of getting to a point where, like, you watch every other kicker, they can make that. I mean, we're blessed watching Tanner Aubrey kick field goals. I understand not everybody is Tanner, or not Tanner.
Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah.
Janesville guy.
Yeah. But he is just automatic from everywhere. So it's just kind of like, I want that. And Jake Moody, 8 for 9, and the one miss was a block. I would rather have that. I'm going to be on the side of Moody. You bring up a good point with him being a captain. That'll probably be the only reason that they don't get rid of Santos this year. Thankfully, blessing for him. But yeah, I'm on the Moody side for the kicker, because I don't want it to be like, oh, this is a 48. I don't know if Santos can get it there. But anything 35 and in, he is just pure money. So,
well, actually, he'll hit anything 50 and under. It's when you get above 50s where you start to get a little empty. Especially like, because I think even the game winner against the Packers, just to remind y'all, we beat y'all last year.
55.
Last week of the season, 55-yarder right down the middle. Looked like he had yards, and he hit earlier this season, I think, a 58 and a 57 or maybe a 56. So his leg power has gotten better. I only say stick with Cairo is because that situation was very unique. He's been pretty accurate all season. And also, Brennan, you should be able to understand this. The grass is not always greener on the other side. And so you look and you're like, look at this. You remember the kicking competition 2019? You remember that great stuff? That shit didn't work. So what's that? I can't see it.
His long this year is 52.
52. Okay, well, there you go. He's got a 52.
There we go.
It doesn't get many opportunities where he kicks that long. But yeah, anything 55 and under, he's basically guaranteed. My concern is if it was another kicker other than someone who just got cut from a team from being inaccurate, and last season he was also very inaccurate. You know what I mean? You're betting, you're putting a lot of risk, and I don't think we're a team that's in a position to have the luxury to make that type of bet. You know what I mean? How about offense? You get better to move the ball, so it's 48 yards. So, you know what I mean? Let's not have to rely on a 56, 57. I know that will happen, but let's try to like move the ball so you don't have to worry about those kicks.
100%. And Connor, say it with me. New situation can always fix it,
Yes,
dude.
new situations are key. Like
That's
that
true.
can really change a player.
I
So I
really
know
Fresh
Jake
start.
Moody being
fresh
bad
start. We're a
for a
big
little
fresh
bit.
start podcast
Yeah,
here,
dude.
especially Connor,
Like
Mr. Optimistic.
every time, dude. New situation. Watch him blow up, dude. I'll wait for it.
I've gotten
But that,
burnt too many times from that. It's like, oh, they got a little better for like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, you were the exact
yep,
same player you were the past 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? You know?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what I was like. The only other reason for Moody was like, I understand, I totally understand. He was terrible in the 40 with San Francisco. That's why he got cut. But every time I see a new guy go, like someone bad, go to a new situation, I always think of Connor. New situation, fresh start, and he was a
He's
third
looked
round
good.
pick.
Hey,
He
he looked
has.
good.
Third
8 for
round
9,
pick.
fantastic.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was really surprised they put Santos out there for this game. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm on Moody, but I think if I had to make a bet, I think they stick with Santos.
I think it's
Probably
also
stick.
another
They'll
one of
probably
those
stick.
things too, where it's like with Moody, we've seen him be great for a few years before. Obviously not last year where he struggled, but like I said with kind of my take with McManus, it was like in the NFL as being a kicker, you have to be hot. Like you can't
Yeah.
have these slumps. So getting cut from the 49ers might have been a blessing for him, possibly if they do decide to stick with Moody, the Bears do, because now he's kind of feeling like he kind of caught that fire back and he's kind of doing what he did couple of years ago where he was, making almost every single kick. Now he's kind of got it back. He's feeling good. 8 for 9, like you said, the one being blocked. It's like he's kind of back. He got out of his slump and now he's feeling more confident, which could be great for you guys because now he could, kind of level up and be who he once was as a one-time great kicker. So it's kind of a toss-up on really what you do there.
Yeah, and my thing with Santos too is though, you said like being hot, like that's important. It's not like the man's been ass this year. He's
Right.
9 for 11 and 12 for 12 on extra points. So he's missed 2 kicks. It's still 9 of 11 is like 88% accuracy or something like that. Like he's above the league average. He's doing fine. His weakness has always been the long kicks. But he's still like it's the same Santos we've had. So it's just for me I know missing that kick was huge. But we still probably would have lost that game anyways. So I kind of take a big picture and say, like, I'd rather have something that I can rely on
Yeah, for sure.
even though his parameters may be limited, I know what he can do consistently. While with Jake Moody, it's like, sure, he's hot now, but that's not to say he's not going to go 3 for 9 on the next one. I'll tell
That's
you
fair.
what, Cairo Santos is not going 3 for 9 on the next. Jake Moody definitely has the opportunity to do that. So
Every time, let's just say he does make the team or he's on another team. Every time I see him miss now, I'm just gonna think of you. Every time.
Gross.
Yeah.
I knew it. It was
Like,
the right
he was-
move.
No, yeah, exactly. He's like, yep, think he was right.
who knows though? I mean, look, this could be the changing point. It's again, you're just rolling the dice, and I just feel like I don't know. We're not in that position to be able to do that, in my opinion. When we have like this isn't like we're the Bills or a really good team where it's like, yeah, we can sacrifice a game or two if a kick's missed by rolling with this person. Yeah, we can't do that. One game could determine us getting into the playoffs or not.
Well,
Playoffs.
we'll see. We'll see later down the line. Yeah, if playoffs are a thing, but
Or even if that's a thing, right? Maybe staying in the hunt, whatever it is. Well, I'm saying the magnitude of a game is huge for a Chicago
Yeah.
Bears
No,
fan.
I
You
got you. I
can't-
got you.
You can't take that risk.
I just want to be in that hunt, week 12. I just want to be in
Yeah,
that
for sure,
graphic,
that's it.
guys. I want to be in that graphic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long, hey, look, we're already winning because the season's not over by Halloween. Typically, it's like, well,
Could
fuck,
be the
I gotta
Jets.
throw it away.
Could be the Jets.
Yeah, it
Could
could
be.
be.
And speaking of being in the hunt, and I'm gonna bring it back to a fresh start. To be in that hunt, what player needs a fresh start for the Bears here? Are they gonna make a move at the trade deadline? Are there any guys that are on your radars currently right now? Is there a certain position that needs to get filled immediately at this deadline? Because I think the deadline is a week from now on the
November
4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yep.
is a week from now. So Poles and the Bears have a week to make a move if they need anything or want to do anything. Do you think they pull a trigger on anyone? I mean, a lot of injuries right now. They could go a lot of different ways. So Ficky, is there a player that you're looking for or kind of just thinking that the Bears are going to go after?
Yeah, it's interesting. It depends on how you want to look at it. But first, you got to take a look at the history of Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles is known for actually making trades midseason. You can look at Montez Sweat, right? You can look at Chase Claypool.
No, we don't talk about him.
Look, but he's known for making trades. Like he's just known for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he made one. I don't think we're a team that's one player away. So I would not be making a trade for any type of big name player if there's even any available. The only moves you should be making is to fill the depth so that you know your defense can survive, right, until players get back, right? So maybe it's a player that's deal's about to end, their last year of their deal. You're getting a rental here. You do a 5th rounder, right? Get him in here. He can play like secondary or defensive line and kind of fill that. Maybe like an Alante Taylor, I think, on the Saints. I think his deal's about to come up, and he's been playing really well. But there's names out there like that, maybe veteran pieces where you can get to kind of fill, especially since your secondary's out, or to help with the defensive line. But you shouldn't be making any type of big moves just yet, because I don't think you should mortgage your future when you still aren't really sure where this team is going to go, right? Like the ceiling is still, you could get 10 games, but the floor could easily still be like 6, right? So that's too big of a disparity in between those for me to be like, okay, we should be 100% buyers or 100% sellers. So I think you kind of have to sit on it. If there's one person I would sell, though, if he wasn't on IR, I think Braxton Jones would be a good one. But like I said, a lot of offensive linemen barely move during the in season because teams really need them. Because as we know, the trenches is a warfare in there, and players get injured all the time. So if I was a betting man, I'd probably say if there was a trade, it's a little bit likely, and it would be nothing that you're like, wow, what a move by the Bears, right? It'd be like, oh, they just made a trade for kind of no name late pick.
Yep.
Brendan, you want to go or you want me to go quick?
Yeah, you can go.
I really liked what you said about the Bears not being one player away kind of a team right now, which is totally fair. I see that. So I think, going into, having a week to, make some sort of move, I do think you should at least be calling and looking for some sort of, corner 3 or corner 2, see what it's going to take to get him on the team. While your main guys are out, because like you said, you need somebody to be able to kind of hold this defense over until you get your guys back, especially if you're thinking you kind of want to see how far you can make it this year, whether that's being, in the hunt or, exceeding expectations, making it, or even if you're, failing. It's one of those things where you have to have a guy, you need to trade for someone, and what's the word I'm looking for here? You need them to hold it down pretty much just while they're out. You got to make a trade for somebody and just see if they can help this team while you're so depleted. So I think they do make some sort of move, but I do like what you said. You're not one guy away. Some small move, see where it takes you.
Yeah, if there's a move, it'd be for a cornerback for that reason alone. Like if you're to pick one position, that's probably what it's going to be. Just because we've talked about at the beginning of the pod, this team is just riddled with injury in the secondary. Brandon, what's your thought, though?
It was really funny that you brought this guy up. I will say, tweets coming out before the Ravens game. I saw some things that if we were 5-2, we would have been way more aggressive. Obviously, more in that playoff atmosphere. Now being 4-3, we'll see. But Alante Taylor is the guy I think that we go after. Saints cornerback, 26 years old, 24 solo tackles, 4 pass deflections. I think it's a cornerback. I think we paid everyone and have rookies on the D line, and we don't need any middle linebackers. We got to do something at cornerback. We can't, especially with this game coming up, go into Cincinnati, I think it is, with Wright, Vicky's favorite player, McLeod, and Blackwell or Jalen Jones. Those guys, I was telling you, Josh Blackwell legacy game. I still love him, but he is just a prime special teams guy. So Alante Taylor, I've seen a lot of buzz with him. I would be okay with that. Honestly, even Asante Samuel, I think he is a free agent. We could sign him. I don't know what his status is right now, but you got to make a move for a cornerback. Thankfully Stevenson, knock on wood, right now is not in the IR candidate, but you can't go into this game. Jamar Chase might break the all-time record for receptions and yards if we do that. So Gotta make some type of move for this upcoming game.
How long is JJ out for? I don't even really know the extent of Johnson's
So we don't
injury.
know just yet. So he was going to be out the season. That's what they thought. But then he had some abdominal surgery, which then shortened his stint. And so basically the reports were saying if the team is still competing late, that he has a chance to come back. So that might be a week 15 ordeal.
Yeah.
Could be week 17. You just don't know. Could be the playoffs. But the season is not out of question for him. But we haven't had enough reports, and I'm sure he doesn't even know. Right? It's definitely a week by week situation on how he's recovering.
But that definitely kind of puts you at that point where if you know he's not coming back till 15th or 17th, maybe even the playoffs, like Brennan and Connor are saying, and even you too, like just Alontae Taylor. I was just looking at PFF because I know Brennan's a big PFF guy. 41st out of like 113, which is like a perfect
Not
CB2.
terrible.
He's
terrible.
ninth in total snaps, so he's been out there. He's making plays. He's healthy. It's a great
He
guy
was
to
everywhere
pick up.
against us. I'll tell you what.
Right,
Yeah,
it's a great guy to pick up who's playing
guy.
a lot too and is healthy and wants to play. And I think
He fit this defense.
you're a winner if you're out of New Orleans. I'm just saying, if you want to play more competitive football, you get out of New Orleans. You're good to go.
Yeah,
No, the one time that he was talking.
Oh, he's
Here
here.
we go.
He's back.
All right.
Okay.
Hopefully you weren't talking the whole time.
Yeah,
'cause
sorry
you
about
lagged
that.
out. So.
I was for a little bit, sir.
All right. I'm ready for the next segment, sir.
Yeah, let's go on to it. So, we're still kind of, briefly talking about, the Bears being in the hunt and possibly, being, trade deadline activists if they're, going to be competitive. So let's kind of go through their record for the remainder of the season. Brendan, I didn't know if you wanted to go like game by game or just kind of like briefly talk about, like a prediction, but we'll start with you, my man.
Yeah, we can just honestly give. I got the game, Ficky. You just tell me if we win or lose.
Got it. We can do it.
You guys, cheeseheads, feel free to join in too.
No, we're
I'll
good.
keep it
I'm
short.
just
I'll
gonna
just
like
go
think
win
in
or
my
loss.
head too, and I'll kind of give my opinion.
Yeah, give
All right.
your thoughts at the end. What you think about my predictions?
Yeah.
All right, in this upcoming game, we'll preview in a second. But in Cincinnati,
I think we win.
I think we win as well. Back home against Daddy Dart and the Giants. Big Jackson Art podcast. I think we win as well. In Minnesota.
It's interesting because with Carson Wentz, anything's possible. JJ's back, though. JJ really hasn't played well because Carson Wentz is having season-ending shoulder surgery. So, and the Vikings defense hasn't looked that great. Interesting enough,
Great.
I might pick us. I
think we lose that game in Minnesota.
Okay,
They get
that's
rowdy in Minnesota. Beautiful stadium, by the way.
You know who built that stadium, right?
No, tell me.
Kevin Warren, our president. So,
Oh,
Oh,
where's our stadium, jackass?
it's being built. It's being built. It's about to be built. There we go. Has to get voted on like in the next couple months. Actually, this election I think is where it gets voted on if it can get passed.
Sweet. That's about
Yes.
time. I need a dome, dude. I need to go to. Have you been to Soldier before?
Oh yeah, went 6 times last year. I hate that place.
Oh, I gotta go, dude. I gotta go before they break
No,
it
you
down.
don't.
I'm not gonna.
No, you don't.
No. I gotta go once. I gotta go
No, you
once.
don't.
I gotta go once.
Yeah, you got to go at least once, but it's such a shit show.
I've heard.
I don't care
I've
about
heard.
the city aesthetics and whatnot. I could do a fucking hour podcast on this, but
Sure.
thumbs
sure.
down. That's what I'm giving it. Soldier
Yeah,
Fest.
no, it's not because I want to. It's I need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Back home against the Steelers and our father, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's a loss.
I'm actually taking us that game. Their defense looks terrible. He might put up points, but I think their defense looks pretty
I
shitty
just
right
don't
now.
think Aaron Rodgers knows how to lose against us, so I can't ever bet against
Yeah,
him.
it's like a weird voodoo black magic.
Dude,
thing.
It doesn't
never
matter
played
who
Caleb
he's on.
Williams,
Just him.
right?
It's true. That's true. He's never played Caleb, has he?
I don't think so.
I don't
No.
think so.
No, he hasn't.
I don't
All
think
right,
it's going to change.
yeah. Got it. Hey, Mr. Optimistic, come on, be on my side.
Nope.
All
Not on that
right.
one.
Here we go. Back in Philly,
Oh, lost. Come on.
BTA. And then in Green Bay.
Lost.
Okay. At home against the Browns. Win. Okay. Have a splitting with the Packers in Chicago.
It's funny because we've
do it.
actually
Just
played
do it.
Green
Just
Bay
do it.
close the past 4 games. So I think we can win that one.
Nice.
I think
I
we
agree.
need to. I think it's going to be more on
That'll
us
be a
to
need.
win it,
Yeah.
and you guys
Yeah.
will probably be fine in the playoffs. And so I think we're gonna be more motivated. I don't know if we're the more talented team,
that
but-
feels like
It'll be that game
a
to
must
stay
kind
above
of like
win.
last year.
500.
Kind of like last year, right? You guys. I mean, Jordan Love got injured, but like you guys weren't really playing for anything, and then you kind of
Right.
took your guys out once, like in the second half. So
And you can spin this however you want in San Francisco against whoever is available for the 49ers at that time.
that's interesting.
I'm going to go loss because I just
Yeah, I
think
think I'm gonna go lost. too.
Shanahan's going to.
Yeah, I think lost.
Just
I think
outcoached
it'll be.
and
I think it'll be closer, but I think it's a loss.
Nice. And then home against the Lions to end the season.
Lost.
Cool.
Best.
I
That's the
had
best
5,
team in the
so
That's
I
the
about
second
8
best
or
team in the
9 is what I got right now. 7.
That was my
at most.
preseason prediction was 9
Yep.
wins, I believe. So I'd be happy with that. That is fine. First
Yep.
year, jumping from how many wins we have last year? 4,
5.
5.
5.
A 4-year jump, a +4 win margin jump from year to year is actually really good. That's hard to do in the NFL because wins are hard to come by. I will take that any day of the week, and we're above 500 for the first time since 2018. I will also take that.
2018. What a year.
I kind of agreed with every game you picked, except for I honestly think you guys lose this coming week against the Bengals just because of how powered their offense is
It's
and
gonna
how
get nasty if
depleted your
that happens.
corners are.
Flacco's
Like,
injured though because he's old. That's my
He's
only concern.
questionable.
That's fair.
Yes, he'll
That's fair.
play. He'll play, but who knows if he'll play the whole game or if he'll be as effective as what he's been. That's my
At
only
40.
reason.
At 40,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
yeah,
fair.
he's old as dirt. So I'm like, dude, you hit him once, he's gonna look like Carson Wentz. And he's gonna need like a
Yeah.
knee brace, so.
And then it's
Yeah.
back to Jake Browning, who is
Right.
literally
Please,
just
God, that'd be
looks
awesome.
like he looks like Browning in shorts out there. It's
You know what's
ridiculous.
funny
Sorry,
though?
I
It would be such a Bears thing though if Jake Browning comes in and just
Just goes
absolutely torches you, and then
Well, with
goes
our
back to his normal
secondary,
self.
that's possible. Right
That's
Dude,
what I'm saying. Like
it's
the
a great-
Broncos not Broncos, sorry. The
Bengals.
Bengals offense is just so high powered in like the receiving room. It's like they can make so many plays and cause anybody trouble, no matter who it is. And it's like with all your corners being out, it's such an up in the air game. Because I know their defense sucks. They just lost to the Jets for
Worse than
God's
ours.
sakes.
Yeah.
But like it's such a hit or miss. Like what are you going to get in that team? So I honestly think that game. I think the Bengals do win, but that's going to come down to Caleb, in my opinion. Can he
I think
perform on
Caleb will
offense?
play better. I think there's been a lot of negative about Caleb, which is fair. Like when you lose and you haven't thrown a touchdown in 2 weeks, it's like, oh, the world's on
Oh,
fire.
don't
right?
worry.
Like,
It's because I started him in fantasy the last 2 weeks. I'm playing Jordan Love. He'll throw for a couple next game.
that's how it works for sure.
Yeah.
It's just how it's hard when as a Bears fan because what the analogy is basically like you're in the desert and you haven't had water for days. So you see like a little bit of piss and you hold on to it. You're like, oh my God, like liquid.
Yeah.
Let me drink.
Oh my
Like, you
God.
know, like anything you can get. And when it's not good enough, you think, oh my God, I know what the other scenario is. I don't want that. But in reality, when you actually take a step back and look at what Caleb Williams done, even from the microcosm of this season to last season, he's improved in a lot of metrics. And then also, I wrote an article on this where you look at like 13 key advanced metrics of Caleb Williams, he kind of grades out to 16 in the NFL, middle of the pack. That's not bad for a Bears quarterback. I know because he was a first-round pick, you want this guy to be the best person ever. But I asked Dave this question on the last show. If you look at the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL currently right now, how many were the number 1 overall pick? Caleb Williams actually is outperforming any number 1 pick in a long time since Andrew Luck, right? So there's a lot of things that you got to take in to be like, is he where he needs to be at the moment based off the perception because he came in as this, generational tag that was thrown on him? No. But has he improved tremendously from last year, which was a dysfunctional shit show for any Bears fan? Brendan, I know you understand. Like, it was basically starting over, right? That's why Ben Johnson came here. And you're seeing those improvements. Overall, he still has, like, only 4 turnovers on the season, which is 11th best in the NFL. So
That's
if
why
his
he's
worst
doing
game
so
is 0
good.
touchdowns and 1 interception, okay, I'll take that. So I think it's just, you know what I mean? As Bears fans, we're so desperate, but you got to be patient. It's only his 24th game ever played in the NFL, and you're seeing progress. And as we know with quarterbacks, growth is not linear. As long as we see at the end of the season, we can walk away. He's still on pace for like 4,000 yards, right?
4,000 touchdowns would be sweet.
That'd be wild. Yeah, we'll take that. But my focus is like we got to kind of like take a breather. It's like it can
I
be
agree.
much worse. You
Oh,
could
yeah.
be the Browns, right?
Yep.
I
So-
think you make great points, and I understand. Obviously, being a Bears fan, it's always going to come back to his fellow draftees of Drake
course.
May and
That
Jaden
makes it
Daniels,
worse.
obviously,
Makes it
and
worse.
and Bo Nix when he lights up the Dallas Cowboys. But no, when
Bo
we
Nix,
do
though,
it,
was also 2 years older. So like, there's a little.
we
Jaden
don't
Daniels
think
is
he's
older
good.
than him as well.
I'm not saying that. I just the narrative is just going to be really gross if we lose this game. I think against the Bengals because
Oh, for sure.
Justin Fields just beat them. So the whole guy taking over the Bears, I think I might make it my lock to beat the Bengals this week for the Bears. But we can get into that game as well. Chicago going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. This is a must-win for me. I think last week against the Ravens, we were blinded of like I said, the 4 game winning streak. Ravens got everyone back on their defense. Literally that game, Kyle Hamilton, Connor's guy, Roquan Smith had something to play for that game. I think Van Noy on their defense came back that game as well. So
He did.
they were
Oh, yeah.
loaded. They're loaded. And Snoop is definitely better than Cooper Rush. So yeah, we shouldn't have won that. And the odds were right. The spread was right. We shouldn't have won, and we didn't. But we're favored in this game against the Bengals, which I'm kind of surprised of, that we are, because we are away. But yeah, I think this is a must win. And Caleb, I don't care what we give up on the defensive side. Jamar Chase might go for 3,000 yards. Caleb just needs to look how he did against the Cowboys. I think that's a good comparison. Basically the same defense, and I think Caleb needs to show out and be a lot better than what he has been the last 2 weeks.
To be fair, historically, actually, Caleb typically plays well against bad defenses. His flukes are against good defenses, right?
Yeah.
That's obviously where you want to see him also have a great game. But when he's ever played bad defense, like the Panthers last year, the Jaguars last year, the
I just need
Cowboys
one of
this
those.
year,
Is
he
it
goes
too much
off.
to ask? Can I get one of those?
So I'm not actually concerned about that, right? It's more about when he's facing really good defenses, how well can he do against those? So that's more of the mixed bag. So that's why I'm picking him, because I feel like we're not going to have a problem with that, because anytime we played bad defenses, we've gone off. Now, I will say the Ravens statistically were a bottom 5 defense. I thought they would still perform like that, but bringing everyone back does obviously help. They did not play like a bottom 5 defense like they've been playing all year, because the Ravens have given up 30 points in 6 straight games, right? And they were on pace to give up more points than any defense in NFL history. So this was like a really, really bad defense. But how they played against us, they did not look like that. They played like a top 10 defense, kind of what you're used to seeing from the team last year. So that was their get-back game, and that's probably how they'll look moving forward. But that's why I'm not concerned with the Bengals, because I don't think they have the talent at all. And they may not even have Trey Hendrickson on the team when we start to play as well. So
No.
he might be shipped out of there too.
Yeah,
I think he's banged up
think
too right now, or
Yeah,
sorry,
he is.
banged up.
Yeah, banged up.
yes.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
On the injury report, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Logan
Yeah, get the
Wilson,
fuck
I
outta
think
here.
Yeah.
their linebacker, didn't he request a
He
trade?
requested a
Yeah,
trade
he
too,
did.
yep.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
just like that whole defense is still in freaking flames. And speaking of get back games, this has got to be Caleb's get back, get right game. He hasn't thrown a touchdown in 2 games. Expect him to at least get one. At the very least, get one. You could probably bet on Swift having maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns, taking that away from Caleb, but he needs one. And if you're Ben Johnson, like that is the focus, is getting your guy in a groove again. And what better defense to be playing? So I totally agree. I think this is a Bears win. And Connor, you can make it a clean sweep.
I'm not gonna. I do
Oh,
think
yeah.
the Bengals win this game, like I said. But the one thing I need to see from Caleb, which I like to shit on Caleb. Let me say that. I do like to shit on Caleb, obviously because of Brennan. But I don't think he's the worst quarterback by any means. Just I need to see him make the big time throws. The 20, 30 yarders where he ends up overthrowing them by 5 yards. That's going to end up putting you in better field position. Those are the ones I feel like he ends up missing, as well as his receivers, like we talked about with Rome earlier. He needs to come down with more catches. He needs to make bigger plays. But
So Connor, sorry,
Yeah,
I
what's
just
up?
want to mention this though. Last year, I would 100% agree with you on that, because he was one of the worst graded out deep throw quarterbacks. This year, it's almost been the opposite, which kind of sucks, because you're like,
he
oh, you
has
got
looked
the deep ball's been
pretty
better,
solid.
but it's kind of the easy throws, the intermediate, that where it's like the intermediate or the short, or he's not getting to it, where that's where your issue is. But I do feel you. He has to play better. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
No,
want
no,
to
no, you're good. But yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. It's an absolute must win for the Bears. I just don't. I can't trust the Bears defense right now. I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm not saying they're going to look terrible by any means. I think it's going to be a shootout. I just think this high-powered Bengals offense is going to take advantage of the depleted Bears defense. So, I mean, for your guys' sake, I hope I'm wrong, but for, Packers' sake, you see.
Yeah.
But, I think it's
That's
going
all
to be
right.
a good game, nevertheless.
Yeah,
And,
it's going to be a shootout. You're right. You're
Score
spot on with that.
prediction. We'll start with Connor and then just kind of make our way back around the circle. Connor, score prediction.
I'm going to go 34-31 Bengals.
Yep, shoot
God.
on.
I don't know if we can put that much up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm hoping we can get a few stops and go like 24-17 Bears.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. So this team didn't have any takeaways. The defense, they had one that they almost got, but the ball got tipped, so that kind of sucks. But I think they get back. They get right. Get back right. What's the phrase? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They get it.
we're saying it
Get
all.
I can't
right.
even think of it.
Get
Yeah,
back.
yeah. You know what I mean. They're get back. Thank you. So
Yeah.
I think they'll get at least one turnover against Joe Flacco.
Mhm.
And so because of that, I'm going to have them, because they've actually were before this game the only team that had scored 21 points in every game. So I don't think it's hard for us to get to 20. I think because of a turnover, we'll be able to get one more score in there. So I'm actually going to put it at probably our first game we break 30 points, 31. But because of our defense, they're going to give up a decent amount, and I'm going to go 24.
Okay.
I
Mason.
like that too. Yeah. I'm really close to that. I'm at 29. I don't think you guys cracked 30. I think Santos has a good couple of kicks. 29-27. I think Santos, like we were
Another
talking about,
heartbeater game.
it's going to be
gonna be awesome.
26-27. You're like, Jesus Christ, like, why is it this close? And Santos comes in, kicks like a 45-yarder with a couple minutes left, and you guys fend him off. But, like,
Love it.
close
I'll
game.
take a win anyway. I'll take a win
Yeah,
anyway. I don't
well,
care.
Win is a
I
win.
mean, I'd like it to not be that close because
I mean, sure, for sure. I would
moving
love
hair
50 to
over here.
0, but
No, I think the last thing, and then we'll move on to the last segment.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't contain Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. The one guy I would love to contain and maybe under 50 rushing yards is Chase Brown. I think if you limit the pass game, I think that, or the run game, I'm sorry, limit the run game, that'll be a huge factor for the Bears win. So I need Chase Brown shitter, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and he had a good game last week, so he's
He
not
did.
due for a big game or anything, you know? If we're, thinking like that. He's not due. He doesn't need a get back game. So.
he
does not.
He had his due.
get your ass down. He's good.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're fine.
Awesome. Well, good luck to the Bears. We'll get into the final awards. We are finally almost like halfway, I think, are at the halfway. I don't really technically
Yeah,
know.
kinda.
It's
Week
week
nine,
nine,
yeah.
so
Week
basically
9, yeah,
halfway
so-
through. So
What?
we're just going to call them the mid-season awards here. But we're going to be doing MVP, most surprising, need to see more, and most disappointing. Basically, just kind of going down the line of good to not good. And we'll start with Brennan. We'll go to Ficky, and then we'll go to Connor, and then end with me. Brennan, you can start wherever you want. MVP, most disappointing. Let's hear it.
Yeah, we'll just go down the list. We'll do MVP. We'll start with MVP. It was tough to pick one, and I just went with 3 as my podcast, so I can do whatever I want. Not mine, but I can do whatever I want. So I went with 3. DeAndre Swift has been a very good running back since the bye week. I don't know what Ben Johnson did in the bye week to figure it out, but he has been unbelievable. The one thing that I didn't bring up with the Ravens game, it was a Ben Johnson kind of not running the ball game. I understand that we were losing, but the one drive that I think we scored, he was all over that drive, so that made really no sense. I'm expecting him to have at least 15 plus carries this upcoming game. Tremaine Edmonds is my second guy. He has just been everywhere. And then, honestly, probably the MVP of the team is Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard has literally been everywhere, and I think he's leading the league in interceptions right now, and is the captain and the glue for this defense right now. So those 3, I understand. It's usually just one, but Kevin Byard, I'll go with him as my MVP for the Bears so far.
Cool. For my MVP, it's actually a collective unit because now it's hard to pick one of them, but it's going to be the offensive line.
Yeah.
I have to remind y'all that last year this offensive line gave up 68 sacks, third most in NFL history. Caleb was running for his goddamn life back there on his ass about every play. This year, I think they've only given up like 12 or something.
Well, I literally have it up. I have it up because
Yes,
that was my
love it.
MVP. Yep.
Love it. Yeah, so I think they've given up 12, which I think puts them in the top 10 for sacks given up. Some of that on Caleb, too. He's really good at avoiding sacks. I think he has one of the highest avoid sack rates in the NFL.
He is
But the
really
offensive
good at
line, it
improvising.
has been fantastic. Darnell Wright has really the MVP of the line has been great. Drew Dahlman's has been pretty solid. Joe Tooney has been fantastic as the left guard, as you would expect. And then also the surprise with Theo Benedict, other than last week in that one sack he gave up to Mike Green, he's been pretty solid for a guy that was undrafted from Canada. So overall, obviously they made big moves, invested much into this line in the past 2 years. It's paying forward. So that's actually the one part. I know it's too late for Ryan Poles, like he delayed that process, but I think it's finally coming together. So I got to give a shout out to the offensive line because this team will go nowhere if the offensive line was anything close to what it was last year.
100%.
Yeah, I was in between the offensive line. I figured somebody else was going to say the offensive line, so I stepped away from that. And I also went Tremaine Edmonds. With the corners, like we've said a million times already, just the defense being depleted. He's had to step up, and, the linebackers have been pretty good there in Chicago, and he has been, one of the key pieces there. So far this year, he's got 64 tackles, 32 solo, 32 assisted. He has 1 sack, and he already has 3 interceptions on the year. Last year, I believe he had... I looked it up a little bit earlier. I think he had like 110 total tackles, so he's in the halfway point. He's, about to crack it. He's kind of on the same pace. But last year he only had 1 sack and 1 pick. So he already has a couple more picks. He's already at the 1 sack mark, and he can definitely get more throughout the rest of this year. I just think because of, how injured that defensive is, he's really had to step up and be that key piece, and he's done a great job of doing that so far.
Absolutely.
Absolutely he has been. And I went offensive line. I was pulling up the sacks allowed, so only 12 sacks taken so far is phenomenal. So shout out to the O-line, and shout out to Swift too. He'd probably be my second as of late. Didn't start out that way, but that run game is crucial for Caleb to be able to escape the pocket and play action. So shout out to that whole collective run game. To most surprising.
Yeah, I'll just shout out Connor, dude. That was a very good pick. Him coming into the season, Tremaine Edmonds was one of those guys I was looking at like he needs to be really good, and he has. So very good pick there. Most surprising, I made the script, so when I was doing it, I was like, I have no idea what to put for this, so I'm really excited to see what you guys put. I kind of copped out with an answer, and I said Brisker's health, and I'm gonna knock on wood again. I just think he's another one of those glue guys that he's been healthy all year, and you can kind of rely on him. When Kyler was in, he had a very good game, and he's been very good all season. But him just staying healthy has been a huge thing for this defense and for the team, to be honest.
It's a good one. My most surprising is probably someone on the list that we didn't really know much about until this season. It's our starting cornerback, Nashawn Wright. Has he been perfect? No, but he's already got 2 picks. They've been he had a pick 6 against the Vikings.
That was down. I feel like he's really, really good, or just like sometimes it's like, whoa.
Yeah. He has like 1 or 2 plays a game, or like maybe 1, I'd say, where you're like, okay, you got truly burned. But also that's kind of the cornerback position. You mess up, it's truly shown because it's 1v1.
Yep.
So, but he's had some pretty big plays, and for a no-name guy, for me to actually be like, I know who you are, and you've made plays, that's why. Doesn't mean you're the best player. But that's why you make the most surprising, because I would have never, like, if this was a preseason, who do you think you're going to be talking about in week, 8 or 9? Yeah. I would have never picked Nashawn Wright. So shout out to him, and shout out to Dennis Allen as well.
Huge Dennis Allen fan here.
My most surprising, brought him up a few times already, and I kind of went into it a little bit earlier, but I have DeAndre Swift / like the running back group. Earlier I said, with a good offensive line, DeAndre Swift has proved what he can be. And, I was expecting him to be decent, but I wasn't really expecting him to be as good as he has been so far, as well as Kyle Monangai also being, turning out to be a pretty good prospect right now and, kind of showing a lot of talent so far on this team. I think just so far, you think of the Bears, you don't really think of a great run game. So for them to be doing what they're doing so far this season has been pretty surprising to me.
Kyle Monangai was my surprise player too, just because the Bears typically haven't been the team to run 2 backs often, and you had Roshan Johnson, who I thought would be the backup, and I don't know if he's just hurt or if he just asked, but he's just not in there, which sucks because he's just consistently hurt too. Also consistently hurt. So just a guy that no one knew. I mean, besides probably you guys, but I had no idea who Kyle Monangai was.
Yeah,
and
not
that
a clue.
Saints game.
7th rounder, dude.
You should have seen me when I first saw that name. You should have seen me try and pronounce it. To be honest,
not an easy one. Not an easy one.
Isaiah Pacheco 2.0, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome. Gotta be nice to have like a good solid RB2, like finally. Well, not finally, because I mean a while ago you guys did with like Howard and all them, but But like recently, as of late, Johnson has not been an RB2, and I can't even name other guys. Travis Homer has not
Homer,
been
no, he's
like
a special
fantastic. Like,
teams guy.
Special
Yeah.
teams
right, it's
gadget,
just like
dude.
it's good to have a solidified RB2, and it was a big surprise to me at least. So shout
No,
out
that's a
to
good
that
one.
RB group.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Needs to see more is the next category here, and I think a lot of us are going to have the same answer here. I have Kyle Monangai. You guys just brought him up. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
just earning more and more reps. And then obviously the second round pick, Luther Burden. I think obviously now with him going down for a game is going to suck, but I never ever want to see Devin Duvernay go for a deep ball ever again.
I did see that. I saw
Our-
that.
But both our
Oh my.
wide receivers were injured. That's the problem.
I
OZ was
understand.
injured, and then Luther. I
Yes.
know. Trust me. I was like, Duvernay, come on, bro. But yeah.
It was like the biggest
That was
play
a
of the game
flare.
too. He
Yeah,
threw a
it was
dart.
3rd and 5. 3rd and
Yeah,
5, and you're running
he
a
threw a
deep post to
bomb
Devin
to-
Duvernay.
Dude,
five-
oh my God, I can't stand that shit. Oh,
Well, it
Sorry.
Yeah,
was
it was
they
a
needed
bad,
to do
it was a
something.
bad play call by
Yeah.
Ben Johnson. In my
Needed to
opinion.
do
Yeah.
something, and 3rd and 5, we're going to our special teams kick returner, who, to be honest, isn't very good on kick return either, in my humble opinion. But Luther Burden, I need to see more of him just on the field. Zacchaeus is cool, but I just think Luther is just like maybe do Zacchaeus on 3rd downs and Luther on 1st and 2nd because he is just a explosive play waiting to happen. So my need to see more is Kyle Monangai and Luther Burden for sure.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna have to go Colston Loveland. That you want to talk about? We were talking about Roman is drops. Colston Loveland does not drop, and it seems like every catch he has, he doesn't have tons of targets, but every catch he has is a big.
It's the
play.
biggest targets of the game usually.
Biggest targets of the game. He's actually ended 2 games where they went to him to you get a first down, game is over, and that's happened twice. I think it was back-to-back weeks.
100%.
And he's made some amazing sideline catches, which Caleb loves to throw, and so I would like to see more of him. I know the tight end position typically is one of the hardest ones to transition to from college to football, just because you basically have to know everything about the offensive line in college. I mean, in the pros, and everything about the wide receiver room as well. So it just takes a little bit of time. So I'm not necessarily worried about him, but I would like to see more of him because he is a mismatch, especially against those linebackers. That man is athletic as can be, and he's had pretty solid hands this season.
100%.
yeah, I also have Colson Loveland. I mean, I think it's a guy, you used your 10th overall pick on him. I know you have Cole Kmet, who I was actually a big fan of last year. He was one of the only Bears guys I can kind of stand. I like Cole Kmet. So I know you kind of have the tight end group. You can kind of mix and match him when you want to use him. But I think we're to use the 10th overall pick on this kind of guy with Ben Johnson coming in. I felt like he was going to kind of scheme him up more, get him, use him a little bit more than he has been, through 8 weeks. He's got 18 targets, 11 receptions, 116 yards. So, I mean, it's all right. But for a rookie that high of a pick, I feel like you should have him in more, try and utilize him more, especially like you said, the mismatches against the linebackers and that kind of stuff. I just feel like he can have more production on this team that's going to improve your offense overall.
I think he's. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Brent. No, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say he's just gonna be in the same boat as Caleb Williams with his fellow draftee Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren going nuts right now. Everyone's gonna look at that, but I'm still holding on to obviously Colson Love, and he's only played like 6 or 7 games. But I just think
Yeah, we saw that.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm holding out. I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah, and I think also we'll see more. Ben Johnson typically leads in Detroit, love 12 personnel, 2 tight ends on the field. And he's still been doing that, but actually of recent, the past couple of games, he's been doing more 11 personnel. So it'll be interesting to see how this team kind of forms with, their philosophy moving forward. If they start to go more of that 12 personnel, then I think we'll see more of the unlocking of Colston Loveland. And just in general, typically with rookies on the offense, they typically start to get more of the groove later in the season just because it takes a lot more to learn an offense coming in as a rookie. Yeah, than it does a defense, right? And defense is hard, don't get me wrong, but the playbook wise is not as in depth. It's definitely harder to learn and pick up right away than it is the offense. So I'm hoping we'll start to see that. And historically, Ben Johnson has shown, at least in his first year in Detroit, that the offense got better the back half of the year. Now, obviously, there's a lot of variables that are going to that. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you're going to expect. I expect, and what I actually would bet on is that this offense will be humming more. Like I think it's going to be more of a linear progression on that back half than what we've seen so far in this first half.
just in time for the Packers games. But I will say,
Please.
I will
Please,
say,
man.
it was really good to see. Shout out Sleeper. You can check the snap percentages. He did jump up from like 60 or 50% up to 81% on the field. So
Good,
it was
'cause he's
very
on my
good to
dynasty
see.
team. I need that. Thank you, please.
That is
Yeah,
good.
so he
Thank
jumped
you.
up. Obviously, don't want to, obviously Komet was injured and out, and I don't want that to be the reason, but it is what it is, and it was good to see that number.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you brought up Tyler Warren too, Brennan, and I was thinking of other rookie tight ends right now, and I was pulling up their stats. Elijah Arroyo for the Seahawks has more yards. Mason Taylor for the Jets has double the amount of yards and a touchdown. Terrence Ferguson on the Rams only has 50 yards, but
Chargers,
he
dude.
found the end zone. So I mean, it's all these other tight. Yeah, Gadsden
Yeah,
is
he's been
popped onto the
unbelievable the
scene
last
out
2
of
weeks.
nowhere. So you look at all these other rookie tight ends, and you just Loveland hasn't been bad by any means, but you just want to see a little bit more. And he was part of
His
my pick
opportunities are really
because,
good.
yeah, my pick was draft picks, being Loveland, Burden, and Monungai. Just need to see more draft picks. They're explosive. They're young. You drafted them, put them out there, find a way to get them the ball.
100%.
You know, can I say a little hot take? Because I always have to do it on the show I'm on.
I
But
love
hot
hot
takes.
takes.
I hate with passion. It's normal though. This is human nature. The comparison of rookies, because
Yeah,
there's
that's
so
fine.
many. We have so many examples of even when like my guys like Kyle Monunga is doing great, right? Next year he can
Yep.
shit the bed. Right, or injuries happen, right, and then you look at the 4-year sample size, and you're like, oh, they started off hot like an RG3, and then they never panned out, right? You think they're going to be the next hot thing, and then you have the inverse, where some guys don't come into their year, they don't break out to year 3 like a JSN, or you start to see a little bit of who they are like JSN and Roman year 2. We get so quick on like 7 games, like a small sample size, to be like, well, this is that, this and that. It doesn't mean that your analysis is wrong, because I think Tyler
Right.
Warren is absolutely outplaying. Like, I'd be
Of
crazy
course.
to say that if we were to end it right now, we made the wrong decision. But I'm never going to be like, I just need more. I need like at least a year and a half. I need like 20 games for me
Yep.
to even start to be like, well, where are these guys sitting at? So that's nothing against you. I'd literally do this to Dave as well. So it's just one of my pet peeves where I'm like, let's give them a little bit of time. Like, this is a new job for them.
Totally
But I
agree.
get you though. It's easy, we live in the world of stats and all that stuff. So it's like, well, they're doing this and this
Yep.
isn't doing that. And it's like it's too many variables going on.
It's the
Yeah.
quick analysis, but you don't even factor in like situation and coach
right.
and location and just all this other shit. They're human beings, so it's like I said before. I definitely wasn't shitting on him. Definitely think he's
Oh no,
still
you
going
can
to
if
be
you
great.
want. It's totally fine. It'd be
No, and Matthew Golden's been really
talk your
good this
shit.
year,
I'm not
too,
telling
so.
people to not do that, but
No,
just
it's
like
he's a great tight end. Want to see more of him, and like we said, Tyler Warren's been going off, but
that
he's
Colts
got time.
offense.
He's got so much
Colts
time. That
offense
Colts
is nuts.
offense
Also,
is
I'm
just
just
by
like,
the
look,
way,
not
insane.
taking anything away from Tyler, but that Colts offense is on historic
Right.
pace. Like,
Yeah.
they're playing better than any Peyton
Jonathan
Manning
Taylor
offense
MVP
of all time.
Dock it
You know
right
what?
now.
You know what though? I actually don't think he should get it. I know statistically it makes sense for him, but this team is the exact same team as last year, except one person, basically. Danny
Daniel
Dimes, you know what I mean?
Jones,
Yeah, Indiana
crazy.
Jones. So don't get me wrong, Jonathan Taylor's been fantastic. We've seen Jonathan Taylor like this, and I get the MVP to him. But really, if you're looking at what made this team become what it is not having Anthony Richardson as your quarterback and having someone who knows how to read a defense. You know what I mean? And throw an
Right.
accurate ball.
For sure.
Yeah,
So
For sure.
I
Sadly,
think
they
he
just
should
don't
get
look at that. They look
yeah,
at
I
that.
think he should get a little bit. No, and that's fair. JT's going crazy. I just feel like
Yeah.
Daniel Jones should get a little bit of credit for like
For sure.
what
Oh,
he's
100%,
doing is
100%.
remarkable right now.
I also don't think he would ever actually get a vote either because Saquon was insane last year
No.
either.
Yeah.
He wasn't, he's just.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
It's a popularity
quarterback.
contest at the end
Oh,
of the day.
for
Let's
sure,
be
for
real.
sure.
We also all have a sweet spot for JT because he went to Wisconsin, so it's like
Oh, yeah, he's a dog.
he'd been the guy.
Yep.
JT has been the guy. He's fantastic.
He's
what a
going
great
crazy on
run.
my dynasty team. Let's
He's going crazy
bring up
in
my-
my Aces League.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
nice. Yeah,
All right.
the offense is wild. So one day maybe the Bears can have something like sniff. I need just something close. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Just like I just need a little,
do
just a
crazy
little
things.
whiff. You know what I mean?
Do
I
crazy
don't need
things.
to be the whole thing. Just like, oh wow, that was fun. You know?
Yeah. Well, we got it against Dallas. I thought I was doing tricks on it when we were playing the Cowboys. So, and then now just to finish it out, missed disappointing. Can go a lot of spots here. But I just went CBs just in general, like kind of like you did for a certain position. I went CBs, especially Kyler Gordon. Dude, we give you the money and you just can't stay on the field. He is a game wrecker. He's very good when he plays. It's just stop getting injured, please.
Yeah.
Please. So yeah, it's not to end the podcast on a bad route, but yeah, he's been pretty disappointing for me.
Most disappointing for me. I mean, it's trying to think. Yeah, it's more just injuries. You know what I mean? You're not getting. It's hard to judge this defense. Dennis Allen is doing a pretty good job of what they have, but when you lose JJ right off the bat, and then TJ Edwards is out in the beginning, so is Kyler Gordon. Yeah, then you get Kyler Gordon, he goes out. Then you get TJ Edwards back, and then he goes out, but then comes back. And then you had Grady Jarrett, who was out. You just signed him to a deal. A lot of that, it's just you haven't had continuity. But I will say, if I had to pick one person, it's probably the $50 man that we just signed this offseason, Dayo Adengbo. Yeah, he just hasn't lived up to the paycheck that he's got. That happens in free agency all the fucking time. They always overpay. But you're going to have to see more than him. He had like this first game of the season against the Vikings. You're like, okay, if this is the guy we're getting 100% worth the money. And you weren't expecting that throughout the whole season, but you got to see more. I think he had a 0% success win rate, 0 pressures last game alone. Not great. You know what I mean? Yeah, fantastic. We love seeing goose eggs in any category. But he just has to do more for how much we're paying him.
I did see, it was really funny, a tweet about his stats, and then somebody quoted it and said, "Hey, just so you guys know, Josh Sweat got basically like the same contract for the Cardinals." And I'm like, God, that would have been cool to have him.
Yes, it would.
The Sweat duo.
The Sweat duo would have been nice.
Oh
sure.
God, it would have been so sick. They could have still done the thing to
that'd be nice.
My most disappointing. Nothing's really super disappointing to me watching the team, but if I had to give it to you guys, it'd be your injuries. I mean, injuries suck. It doesn't matter who it is, what team they're on. Doesn't matter. Injuries always suck, and the amount you guys have had has been unbelievable this year. So hopefully they just get well.
Yeah, and to finish it off, my biggest disappointment is Torrey Taylor because he hasn't found the end zone. He's the best player in that team. You got to get him in the end zone somehow,
Torrey Taylor.
Take him for a fake punt to the end zone somehow,
Crazy.
Get him involved, man.
He's been on fire though. Actually, his last 3 games.
You can't afford him to do that.
Going crazy.
He's so good, dude.
I do love the this will always be the death of us, right? Was the Caleb Williams, Torrey Taylor exchange text
God, dude.
It's so good. It's so
Chicago Bears
good.
style. To be fair, that wasn't supposed to get public. It's not like either of those.
That's fair.
How does that get public though? Does he send it to someone? Like, what the fuck?
Well, no, I think somehow it got like leaked about it, and then the reporters asked Caleb, and he like explained it. But it hasn't been great. That's been a great bulletin board material for us.
It's the
It's
best.
just like that in the double doink, dude. It's every time. Every time I see a double doink. Oh, you guys remember when the Bears did that?
No, for sure.
So funny.
Yeah, for sure. I have it in my nightmares.
Yeah. So, Vicky, really appreciate you doing this, man. I'm thank you for staying the whole time. Shout out, Dave. You have anything you want to shout out?
Come on.
Do you have anything you want to shout out? Anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, we have a little podcast going on. We have Bears Film Room on YouTube. I think it's under at BFR_pod. I think maybe I should know this, or maybe at Bears Film Room. Either way, type in Bears Film, you'll find us.
I'll tag him below.
Thank you, appreciate it. I should know my own business, right? You would think. But, you give us a follow over there. We do have a Discord as well. Hop on there. Just Bears fans in general or non-Bears fans. We do a lot of free contests. We love giving away free shit in this economy. Like, come on now. So hop on there. We have good stuff on there. Our Patreon as well if you want to join. If not, you just want to watch our shows or hate watch. My best friend's a Packers fan. He's in our chat all the time. Don Burr, a Lions fan who's on a lot of Bears podcasts. He hops in there. We accept everyone. We love it. We love building a community of just like football fans. So make sure to hop over there. And then also make sure you guys watch this podcast as well. If you like football, you're a Bears fan, or unfortunately you're born being a Packers fan, this is the podcast for you. No, just kidding. I would pray for Sundays like y'all, for sure. Back to back quarterbacks. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, nice. You know what I mean? The
Pretty
two of
blessed.
them were kind of shitty people, but at least they can play on the
We
football
got a
field.
good
so-
one now.
You
Finally.
goddamn right. We're
Yeah.
talking about football field, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like progressively as humans, they like got better though. It's like a linear growth. So that's
Yeah.
you guys going in
It's
the
gotta
right
do
direction.
one of these, like a little bit of.
Yeah, it's like it's like normalizing a little bit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, funny stuff. But yeah, no, appreciate you guys having us on. We really do appreciate it. We'd love to be
Yeah.
back on again. And yeah, bear down. That's what we always say at the end of our stuff. So
100%. The ad reads are my favorite. I just love when the ad reads come on. Those are
ad
great.
reads are hilarious. And it's like me looking like older than what I am because it's like all scruffed hair. I didn't shave or anything. So I'm like looking like at the past. I look like a hobo reading these ads, but
100%.
it's okay.
It was good. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite. Connor,
That's
Mason, appreciate you guys as always. You're listening to
Yep.
Cheese and the Bear podcast. Go Bears.
Go Packers.